Within us, there are two modes of thinking, two levels of thinking, two ways we operate. There are the people who operate at cause, and then there are the people who operate at effect. People who operate at effect are the ones who feel that they are the victims of circumstances. Everything that happens to them is because of something else in the environment, and there is nothing they can do about it to improve their situation. People who operate at effect are the ones who justify inaction with reasons to why this is out of their control. You will easily catch someone who is operating at effect by the words that they use. And what they would normally say is this: no choice. What to do? Not my fault. If you ever hear yourself uttering the words no choice, know this: you just made a choice to accept that there is no choice. There's always a choice for something that you can do to make life better for yourself. But the only way it's going to happen is by asking the right questions that's going to shift your focus towards what you want to achieve, the goals that you have set for yourself. People who operate at cause, on the other hand, they know this. They know that, hey, they may or may not be the cause of what has just happened, but they want to be the cause of what happens next. People who operate at cause, they work with a solution finder's mindset. Instead of asking why me, instead of saying no choice, the only question that they ask themselves is, what must I do next? That's the first question I shared with you this morning. What must I do next? Because in any problem, any challenges that you're facing in life, whatever obstacles that comes between you and the success that you want to achieve, all you have to do is ask, what must you do next? And immediately you will shift from effect to cause. You will focus on results over reasons. And that's the first principle. Principle number 1, focus on results over reasons. Principle number 2, have a sense of appreciation. And we talked about appreciation earlier on this morning, and that's simply because we want to train ourselves to notice all that is good in our life right now, so that we will also know how to notice all the good that's going to come into our life later on. If we don't know how to appreciate what we have right now in life, we will never be able to appreciate what we are going to get in the future. And you can get everything in the world and you will still feel unhappy. You will still feel that something is missing, because that's what we train ourselves to do. So have that sense of appreciation. Focus on what's good in your life, but you've got to do this. You've got to make it a habit to do this. And what you need to do is this: you've got to start your day doing this. You've got to end your day doing this, because you want to start your day off on the right foot, yes? And you want to end your day on the right foot, because, hey, you may start off very excited in the morning, full of energy, optimistic, enthusiastic, and then throughout the day you may have some trouble, some challenges, some problems, and then you come home at night feeling burnt out, thinking, what is the purpose of life? And a simple exercise like this will give you and renew that sense of purpose once again. Right? So have a sense of appreciation. Principle number 3, have a sense of optimism. Highly successful people are very optimistic about everything, to the point where it annoys the rest of us. They don't know what it means to not be optimistic. You give them a problem, they say, oh, this can be solved. Sure, I'm sure. They don't know how to solve it yet, but they straight away think that, hey, you know what, we can solve this. There is a problem for this, and they go on finding the solution. Winston Churchill once said, an optimist finds opportunity in every difficulty. A pessimist finds difficulty in every opportunity. Right? Anything that you're embarking on, the chances of failure and success could be 50-50. We don't know yet. right? It's a hypothetical situation, whether we're going to succeed or we're going to fail. And if it's a hypothetical situation, my take is this: focus on how we can succeed rather than how we can fail. Invest a little bit of time to see how things can go wrong, because that's due diligence. You want to plan, but then your focus, you want to shift it to how we can succeed. Because optimism is the invisible force that's going to give you the courage to move forward. Optimism is going to give you that courage. Right? So focus on optimism. Principle number 4, be motivated. And this is the point of time where you would probably go, yeah, we know that, Jit. We know we need to be motivated. Problem is, when I'm not motivated, I cannot find that motivation. I don't know where to find that motivation. And I was just like you at one point of time, because I shared with you, at my lowest point, I could not find motivation at all because I had no purpose. I didn't know what to do. But when I set out to find what is the secret behind lasting motivation, I realized this because I started reading books. I realized that, hey, a lot of success story starts with a lot of pain. So when I started reading about success stories like this, the only question that started popping up in my head was this: holy crap, do I really need to be that much of a failure before I can succeed? Is pain the ultimate motivator? Or is there a better motivator called pleasure motivator? Pain motivator is when people take action to get away, to move away from a painful situation. Pleasure motivator is when people take action to move forward towards something pleasurable. Theoretically, pleasure motivators are the ideal motivators. But reality is this: pain motivators are the stronger motivators. Simply because pain is immediate. You know pain when you feel pain. And when you feel enough pain that pushes you to that corner of do or die, you take action because it's past that threshold of tolerance. A lot of people live in this zone called the threshold, or they call it the zone of tolerance. Life's a bit painful, but it's okay. Over time, life gets a bit more painful. You remember we talked about that thing that you're unhappy with in life right now? And the reason why you have not taken action over this thing is because it's still in that zone where it's okay, or it's in that zone of tolerance where it's painful, but it's okay. But when that pain increases over time and it passes the threshold of tolerance, this is when you reach that point that, hey, you know what? I can no longer take this pain. I better do something to get out of it. Pain is immediate, and that's why pain is a stronger motivator, because pleasure is always based on a future state. I want to eat healthy. I want to earn more. I want to give more. I want to help more. But maybe I do it tomorrow because today I'm busy. And when tomorrow comes, then it becomes something else in the way. That it's okay, I will start tomorrow. Because pleasure is always a future state, and the common mindset is that if I don't achieve it today, I will try again tomorrow. I can put off achieving my goals today because, hey, there will be a tomorrow, and I can start tomorrow. But when you feel pain, it's immediate. Right? Take that example of an overweight friend that you may know of who keeps talking about eating healthy. Let's not even talk about hitting the gym. Wants to start by eating healthy. Every time you meet the friend talks about it. Hey, you know what? I want to eat healthy. I'm going to start soon. But I can't start today because tonight got wedding dinner. I can't start tomorrow because it's my niece's function. I can't start next week because Christmas is coming. After that is New Year, and then it's Chinese New Year. So you know what? Maybe I think based on my schedule, in 5 months, I will start eating healthy. All right? The thought is good. Does this friend know the benefits of eating healthy? Absolutely. Does this friend want to be healthy? Yes. Does this friend postpone? Also yes, because it's a future state. But let's just say something happened and the friend had to visit a doctor. And the doctor looks at this friend after running all the tests, and the doctor says, you know what? I'm going to be direct with you. I'm going to tell you how it is. If you don't take action now and change your diet, you probably have only about 3 weeks to live because your body can't take it anymore. What do you think this friend would do right now? Would this friend still wait for Christmas? Would this friend still wait for New Year, Chinese New Year? No, the friend would stop right there and start eating healthy. A friend would throw everything away and start eating healthy right there. Sometimes that may be too late. Smokers who are diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, is that the best time for them to stop smoking? Absolutely not, because it no longer makes a difference. But do a lot of smokers stop smoking once they are diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer? They do, because now they panic. Okay, maybe if I stop, got chance lah. Good, optimism. Unfortunately, you also can't cheat, Hell, but if you think about it, this would be the same person that once said, I can give up anything in life, but I will never give up my cigarettes. But when we pass that threshold of tolerance, it pushes us towards taking action. And that is the reason why a lot of people who have succeeded, for some reason, have gone through a lot of pain. It's simply because they want to take action. So, am I telling you that please go and find pain if you want to succeed in life? The next time you're feeling demotivated, you need to find pain? The answer is also no, because pain is an unhealthy motivator. If you are driven by pain, when pain disappears, guess what disappears with the pain? The motivation. And then you get into this self-destruct cycle to unconsciously look for pain so that your life receives that form of validation once again. And remember, this is an unconscious process. You're not thinking about this consciously, but you are trained to be motivated. You have trained yourself to motivate yourself with pain. And when pain disappears, motivation disappears with it. And that is when people do dumb things unconsciously to look for pain. This is when people get into this cycle where they start saying, why is it that whenever something good happens to me, something comes along and takes it all away? A lot of times it's that unconscious process. So how do we deal with this then? Pain is not good, but pleasure is a future state. It's not strong enough. It's about understanding how we can utilize both pain and pleasure. Think about it as driving a car, a manual car. So I grew up, when I learned how to drive a car, it was a manual car. And a manual car always starts with which gear? The first gear. Because if you put your car to 5th gear, the car won't move. It needs that first gear to move, but you cannot stay on gear 1 for long. You just use it for that initial push, and then you shift gears towards 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's about understanding how to use pain and pleasure. Right, so how do I use this? Here's an everyday simple example. I used to play a lot of basketball before, at least about 3 to 4 times a week. Over time, the frequency of playing basketball has also decreased. So to cover for that, I started jogging more. Light jogging to the park. I have my guards and all on. And I just go for that half an hour jog to the park and have a good time. But as much as I enjoy jogging, there are days when I struggle to put the shoes on. I know it's healthy. I know it's going to keep me fit. But I'm back home, tired day, sitting on the sofa, feeling so good. And it just struggles, because the thought in my head is this: if I'm going to put on those shoes and if I'm going to go for that jog, I'm going to feel so tired. My legs are going to hurt. My clothes are going to be wet. I must come home and do laundry, because if I don't do laundry, clothes are going to stink. And this thought starts coming in my head, and I start finding excuses. So I end up sitting down on the sofa, not going for that job. But after a while, am I really feeling good about myself? Also no, because now I'm feeling guilt. I should have been out there going for that run. I should have took action. So now I'm in this situation where I've got two painful scenarios. People do more to avoid pain than they do to achieve pleasure. That is why pain motivators are strong. And when presented with two painful options, human nature is to go for the least painful option. At that point of time, what's more painful for me is not the guilt. What's more painful is that thought of having to do laundry and drying clothes and that painful, tired feeling I'll be having. And because of that, I choose to just sit down and just live with the guilt. So how do we use this to advantage? What I do is this. Immediately, I shift my focus and I amplify the pain of not going for my run. So I start asking myself, hey, if I don't go for this run right now, what do I stand to lose? And I start visualizing. So I start asking myself, what do I stand to lose? And right away, what comes to my mind is this. Hey, you're going to put on weight because it's happened before. And I start thinking, you're going to put on weight. Then, your clothes won't fit. You won't look good on stage when your clothes don't fit. Now, you need to go and make new clothes. And I don't buy off the shelf. I see a tailor. And that's more expensive than buying off the shelf. Which means now, I must spend more money. And I increase the pain of not taking action to the point, right? I now want to take action so that I don't put on weight, I don't have to spend more money, and I look good on stage. That's the pain motivator that gets me motivated. But immediately, remember, at this point of time, you're already motivated, but the last thing you want to do is focus on pain throughout your entire journey. Immediately, I shift the focus towards what? This body that I vision myself having. That six-pack abs, looking so good in that suit on stage, wearing that nice clothes, not having to spend more money. And I focus on what I want to achieve. I want to achieve that good-looking physique that I have in mind. So the pain motivator is it's just the first gear. But the moment I'm feeling motivated, I forget about the pain, I focus on the pleasure. So that's utilizing pain and pleasure. Pain is to get you moving. It's that kick in the butt that we sometimes need, but that's all it is, just a kick in the butt. And then it's about focusing on the positive. The fifth principle to attain a mindset of excellence is pursue knowledge. That's all it is. All right? And I'm not going to go on about knowledge anymore because I think from morning till now, many times over, I've talked about the importance of pursuing knowledge. This is just a reminder. The fifth principle to attain a mindset of excellence is pursue knowledge. Right? So, principle number 1, focus on results over reasons. Number 2, have a sense of appreciation. Number 3, have a sense of optimism. Number 4, be motivated. And number 5, pursue knowledge. And all this can only happen when you create a habit out of it. So you got to constantly do it.